I thought I would be lucky to even take off on a wave. Here I am, so arthritic. The power of the mind is incredible. So the thing I loved about surfing the most is just being free. Also, the thing that really got me hooked was the power of the ocean. I had so much fun, and I think it's because I was unwell a lot of the time as well, that when I felt good, I really made the most of that time. I think my arthritis definitely made me really a strong, persistent person. The pain is like doing a marathon and not training at all, like a 200k marathon, or a sprained ankle, or getting your hands slammed in a car door. And it was all of those at once. Walking was the worst. Like I'd do 10 steps and just fall in a heap on the floor, just going, oh my God, like I can't even bloody walk. How am I supposed to win a world title? So the surfing industry back then was very male orientated. And so it was a constant struggle all the time to be accepted just as athletes. I was challenged financially. I didn't have any sponsors. I'd have like $100 in my bank and I'd turn around and win the next event. So I seemed to do really well under pressure. I was lucky enough that I had people that I knew in each country that I stayed with. I called them like my world family. And they all knew that I didn't have sponsors, so they actually would be really helpful and had people that wanted to buy the stuff I brought with me. To get to each country, I would do things like in America, I'd buy 30 pairs of Levi jeans and then sell them for 3 times the price in France. Those friends were my sponsors. You know, like even if we couldn't find accommodation or it was too expensive, the girls were like, oh, let's just sleep in our board bags and we'll stay in the contest area or stay in a tent. I had some amazing challenges. Personally, I was gay on tour and couldn't come out because at that time it was well and truly not accepted, especially within the surf industry. At that time I was telling everyone that my coach was with me, but it was my partner. And to hide who you are for so many years of your life was tough. My arthritis came back with a vengeance. And I ended up flying to Hawaii really early, pretty much a 3-month lead up. I was just trying to stay calm mentally because when you can't even straighten your arms or anything, I couldn't bend my wrists, couldn't turn my neck, I just kept thinking, how can I try and calm down and stay healthy? Do everything I could to help try and get rid of the arthritis. I still wasn't surfing. It was about a week left to the contest. Mentally, it would be really hard. Like, for instance, I'd get up in the morning at 4 o'clock and I'd be pretty frustrated, like, oh my God, you can't even move again. Really scared, and I asked a friend, can I borrow an extra large board, because I was worried about not having that strength to be able to get into the waves. But I think because I spent so much time just trying to get my body normal, it took away that anxiety of like, how am I going to surf? Like all these pro surfers were going out having a surf before the heat. I nearly never did because I couldn't. Didn't even know what my board's going to go like, but it's just like, here we go. I was out in the water, still stiff when I paddled out, and then as soon as the hooter went to start the heat, I surfed like there was absolutely nothing wrong with me. And it was just that I had such a big desire to want to win. And adrenaline. You know when they say these people lift cars off kids and stuff, I believe it, because the adrenaline was going that much that I don't remember feeling anything while I surfed in that heat. And I watched videos and thinking, oh my God, like it was 10 foot. When they're huge waves, and as sore as I was hopeful, like I was really hopeful, but I had no idea that I was going to surf as good as I did. I was definitely a fierce competitor because I always would just do anything to win. Once we hit the water, I wasn't their friend anymore, it was just business. But I always had a plan. There was a lot of tactics involved. And there was a lot more tactics involved back then than there is now, because whoever was the closest to the breaking part of the wave got the wave. So you're constantly battling. Yeah, I went from feeling like I had a massive bag that I was carrying around and the stress of wanting to win, that finally it fell off. After I'd won, they gave me a lei, and there's the smell of the frangipanis. Just every time I smell that now, just reminds me of when I won the world title. So it's just a smell that stays with me forever. Because when you've got something every day, day in and day out, that you're like trying to overcome, definitely made me a strong person.